Good morning. How are you this morning? I come to you with an important topic. It's beautiful Brisbane today. It's not so hot, but how's the weather where you are? If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, I'll bet you it's cold. Okay, my name's Linda. I'm your trauma recovery coach, and together we do life and we do it well. Now, today I want to come to you with a really super important topic. Sorry, I'm just getting in the flow this morning. It's about self-care, and too often we feel that it's selfish. Now, if you're here today with me this morning, please say hi. If you need to, hit the eCam link so that I can see your name and we can chat. Okay, so let's bring up this morning's list. Now, what I need you to do is, if you see a therapist or if you see a coach, take some notes, find what stands out for you, and I just put yesterday's list up as you do. Let's start again. And hi, Wendy. And what we want to do when we take notes is become aware of what's standing out in the information for me. So, as Oprah would say, it's that aha moment where we go, this finally is starting to make sense for me. Now, we struggle with self-care because we've been through so much trauma that our thought process actually puts other people first. And we don't even realise it. We're not essentially selfish people by nature. Selfish people by nature have a whole other category for themselves. So today, I just want to talk to you about what self-care is, how we can negate the thoughts when we're doing self-care in order that we can feel good about self-care. So self-care builds our strength to say no to toxic individuals, to toxic family patterns, and toxic ways of living that we've adopted. Now, toxic means that it's like living on the garbage dump, and there's just more garbage that gets dumped into our lives because we're on repeat and we haven't sat back and taken a checklist of awareness of what's happening for me in this scenario. Am I self-caring in this scenario, or am I caring too much about the other person and their life? Okay? Am I worried too much about my impact on that person's life in order that when I'm caring too much about impact, that I've ignored myself? I've ignored what I need. So think of the HALT acronym. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. And if I'm becoming those things, then I need to be aware, where am I not having self-care for myself because I'm putting the toxic people, the toxic family system, etc., before myself. So when we frame it like that too, we're actually able to sit back and go, right, okay, so in doing that, I'm actually giving myself a toxic life. I need some self-care, okay? And in that way, we stop going, but. So when it comes to people in our life who are toxic, we find it very hard to say, no, I need you to go. Now, we can find it very hard to say, no, I need to stop having them in my life for the moment, because we can be catastrophizing, what if I do, and what if this happens? We can be going, but. And that means we want to keep giving them a second chance. We forget that, when we do the same thing the same way over and over, it's going to produce the same result. We also can find it hard to say no because we've never been through the process. I took a client through my process recently, in having to, and look, it's not cut and dried. We have to work through the dynamics of what's happening for you as an individual. And so when I did that for her and she went through the process, she was able to see how hard it was to do this. But then as she did it, so as she took the actions in her day-to-day life, she was also then able to experience that even though it was hard, we had strategies in place for her to help her through how hard it was. But when she came out the other side, she went, oh wow, what a relief, you know, and that's the difference. And this is why we do the self-care, because even though it's hard and it's a process, we can have strategies in order that the toxicity doesn't keep inflaming our lives, and that can be surrounding us or even inside of us. Self-care benefits everyone in your life, not just yourself. We have to teach ourselves it's okay to learn the process of giving and receiving. When we come out of childhood trauma, we've never learned to receive. So we've never learned, or we've never experienced what it's like to receive. We've learned taking and we've learned giving, and we give a lot to many people, but we've never learned to sit back and just receive. And if someone was to compliment you and say, hey, you know, you're a really good person, thanks for doing that, you know, I see what you're doing, etc., etc., are you able to say thank you, or do you want to give, you know, 500 reasons why they shouldn't be thanking you? That was one of the first things I had to overcome some years ago, was to actually learn to receive a compliment. So with that simple example, we can say, well, how much have I learned to receive in my life? Self-care has zero intention to harm others. Selfishness acts out of the intention that I'm the only one who matters. And you can tell this in people who have the intention that I'm the only one that matters, because they won't have a conversation with you about coming to an adult, mutually agreeable, not just a solution. They'll just say, that's it, full stop, okay? We're adults, we've got to communicate, and we've got to come to a mutually agreeable solution. And that's how you can tell when someone's selfish, because they don't want, there's no give and take, all right? Selfishness stops you from giving of yourself. Self-care enables you to give of yourself. And I don't need to explain this, you know the difference, okay? You'll see that in your life. All right, you will see it happen and you will experience it happen. And sometimes we can get selfish when, for me, tiredness is the biggest trigger in my life. If I'm tired, then it's really hard to stay in that heart center and keep giving. But I've also got to learn to receive. All right, it's the balance. Self-care brings out the best in you. Sorry, not your. It brings out the best in your life, but it brings out the best in you. You have more energy, you have more time for others. So when you give to others, it's a joy. It's not, well, you know, thanks for not saying thank you. All right? So we need to become aware when we are being selfish, in order that we can address it and go and address what needs we have to be addressed. Selfishness brings out the monster in you. When I wrote it, I went, yeah, it does. If I'm being selfish, it'll bring out the monster in me. It means I haven't thought about anyone else and I have bad attitude. All right? And it does happen. We don't mean it to. We don't set out to have it happen. It'll happen when we haven't addressed something in our self-care routine. Me particularly is getting to bed on time. Self-care is inclusive of others. Selfishness will exclude all others. So with our self-care, we realise that when we take time out to care for ourselves, our health is better and our ability to go about our day in a happier, healthier manner is productive. So we lead a more productive life when we do self-care. And we do it because we want to spread the joy around to others as well. Selfishness has a core in wanting only to live for ourselves. So you will find these people, their life centers around them and they make no mistakes, all right? They have no heart desire to see the world around them be a better place. So not even the world at large, just the world around them. They don't want to encourage others to be their best either. It's just my way or the highway. Self-care understands that there's a greater vision that I'm aiming towards. So yesterday when we talked about toxic individuals, we became aware of how important having a bigger vision for our life is, because we work towards that. That's the vision we're working towards. Even though we don't know every single step and have every single step planned out, we know in our heart that's what we're working towards, okay? And it shows in our day-to-day life, all right? So yesterday I used the example of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the American actress, and they got married. And beforehand, her family, the toxic part of her family, came out in public and it was all over the place. And you can see that it's all about them. So their words are saying, oh, Meghan's this, Meghan's that, etc., etc. But everybody can see that even that their words mean nothing. It's really all about them. And if we take a step back in our life and just, put our heart to one side, we can begin to see how with other people, whether it's all about them or they do have a greater vision in their life. And as you practice this, you will be able to implement it a lot more in your day-to-day life as well. Okay, any questions or comments, please hit me up down below. I'm more than happy to answer them. Please remember, this is a process. It's not a product. It's not something that you just have overnight. It's a process that we begin to build an awareness of and implement in our day-to-day life. Thanks for being with me today. If you're here for the replay, do a #replay and I'll say good day. And I look forward to bringing some more information to you tomorrow. Okay, blessings and dreams, and have a fantastic day or evening wherever you are in this beautiful world. Bye for now.